Hey, Jacob.
Hey, Don.
What's your favorite...
Pizza, beer, wings, cheese. Board games?
No.
Tacos.
Your favorite...
Favorite.
Your favorite
Camera.
photo you've taken recently.
I mean, I love photography. I love photos.
It's why we're here.
Well, we've done this before, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. But didn't we say that was our favorite photo?
Well, we said it was our favorite photo ever for now.
For now. And now is new.
Yes.
So now is now. That was old, now is now.
Sure.
Good.
We can have lots of
Was I supposed to do some homework and have a photo?
You were.
All right. And cut. And we're back. New photos. Favorite photos.
Yes. Do you want to go first?
Well, I had to choose two. Is that fair?
I mean, we don't really have a lot of rules
Yeah.
around here, so...
Well, to be fair, mine are from the same wedding.
Okay.
But I chose two because of the whole story of the wedding. But, I'll start.
Okay.
I got a nap, so I'm better.
Editing Dawn here, just popping in to say that we'll be posting the favorite images that we're talking about in this episode on our Instagram account, which is the one with two photographers. So if you're just listening to the episode, you can hop over there, see the pictures, and then understand the stories that we're talking about.
This is a photo. The first one I'm doing is a ring shot I did recently. Mm-hmm. And I know this because you were my second on a wedding. So this was a space NASA-themed wedding. Mm-hmm. So much so that they got married at Kennedy Space Center.
Yes.
But everything from every detail was space-themed.
Right, and they were both scientists.
Yeah. It was like the Big Bang Theory, but like they could actually communicate and
like he was a scientist, she was a science teacher.
I think so.
Yeah. Science was in their daily lives a lot.
All I know is they made good choices in school, and I'm a photographer. So
completely unrelated.
Yeah, completely unrelated. So looking at this ring shot right here, we had actually started to do some ring shots like on the bed, and we used some of their props. Mm-hmm. Like they had like a NASA themed lunchbox, and they were good, but they were kind of standard, right?
Sure.
We were just trying to kind of flow with it.
I think you even maybe did one with the flowers. And had the little Lego
guys.
Astronaut in the bouquet.
And I was liking them, but I wasn't like, I hadn't found that like the perfect one yet. Mm-hmm. But at this point, it was during getting ready, and we kind of had like, I was like, okay, I'll get another one it was like I did a safe one, but we'll do another one at the reception because we'll be in Kennedy Space Center. Mm-hmm. I'm sure I can put it on a space shuttle or something.
Naturally. Yeah, of course.
And then we find this, they talk about this, I don't know how to describe it, but it looks like something on the Hubble telescope. It's a mirror.
It's like a mirrored honeycomb.
Correct. That you can kind of see here. But the way this thing is, though, is when you place it against a giant light, maybe like the sun, and hold it, it has, because of science, it reflects on the ground in front of you and says, "Will you marry me?" And that's what he used to propose to her. So, okay, so I already have this thing. Now I'm like, this is pretty cool. And then we noticed that the rooms at this Hilton that we were near the Kennedy Space Center were all space themed because we were next to Kennedy Space. And it had this giant space mural, which you can see. This is what those purples and blues and
yeah, it was
and
like a
are.
galaxy wall, like pink and purple and blue.
It was above the bed. It was above the bed frame. So it just kind of, we set that on the ground, and then I don't even know if it was me. It might have been you that was like, looked at it and was like, yo, you can see the reflection.
Yeah. You had it on the bed, and it was just reflecting the ceiling, I think, and we like slid it down and realized we could reflect the galaxy wall.
And this just snowballed into this. So again, I think it's a gorgeous ring shot regardless, but then when you know the backstory of it, and they are going to love it, or they did love it, obviously it's already been delivered to them, more than just anything. But I see it and I'm just like, I love this shot so much because of everything that is involved, the theme, the story. It makes my heart tingle.
I know. And I wish we had just a picture of like the mirrored thing itself, but like when we say we don't know how it works, like we really didn't know how it worked because later on we were trying to use it
as a shot.
We were trying to use it to project "Will You Marry Me" onto the ground, but we needed it to project backwards so we could put the couple in the picture.
Because they were holding it and we wanted it to spill onto the ground in front of us.
Right. So we spent like 30 minutes going to like different light sources in the museum, flashing speed lights on it, like poor Crystal is holding it at all these different angles trying to...
Long story short, we had to go outside to use a dark, because we couldn't get any other light on it. And then we got it, and I took the reflection, and then we had them shoot it with it. I didn't post it here. But then we shot it, and then I digitally swapped the actual...
Yeah, we couldn't get the light to hit them and that nicely.
In the allotted time of a wedding.
Yeah.
We didn't have 8 hours.
No. It was, excuse me, can we pull you off the dance floor for one more picture?
Yeah. So that's it. I love it right here. See?
It's so beautiful.
Do you want to do yours or do you want me to keep going with mine?
No, you can keep going because it's all the same wedding.
All right. So then on the second part, obviously they got married in Kennedy Space Center. So we did first looks in front of the shuttle. We did family photos at the shuttle. We did so many photos in or around. And then after dinner, we kind of got like a round 2. I felt like, where it's like a second wind. We're like, you want to do more photos? They were like, yep.
Well, because they let them go down the slide.
They go down the slides. There's like these kids' tubes that they could play in.
It was like Discovery Zone, but it was the space station.
She just jumped right there in the dress. So we took in the back of the shuttle, like we did fronts, we did backsies, and we had lit this, and I had lit them, and I'd put a light behind it to make the shuttle look good. And then I was just like, I liked the other shots too, but I just felt like it needed more. So then I added some red gels to the back of it to like kind of enhance the engine-ness of it. And I just felt something was missing. And I just turned off my main light and just did the silhouette and then placed perfectly in that engine. I don't know. I love it.
It's so good. And it's such a perfect pose. Like, the like sweep of her dress makes it look like she's like going up on her toes to him, which I'm not even sure that he was, but there's just something about the combination of everything, the shape just...
Yeah. So these are kind of my favorite photos of the moment. This is going to be kind of funny because if you remember my last favorite photo, it was of the woman dancing in the child pavilion.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this bride right here is her sister.
I didn't even put the two together that we're keeping it in the family.
I'm really, really strong on this family right now.
By the way, Jacob does have more than 2 clients.
No, it's just the 2. It's all I've ever done. I'm working on my 3rd wedding next week. But yeah, so I've just been really, really digging these photos. You know, again, the whole day being this NASA themed was really fun, and we got to do so much fun out of the normal things. Yeah.
When you do a lot of weddings at very similar venues, you get this like whole spark of energy when it's just anything different.
Yeah.
Or like give me a bride with a black dress.
Right.
I mean, I would be so excited. Or a red dress. Anything different can be really exciting when you've done a lot of similar weddings back to back. So this was a fun one. Plus, they were a really great couple. They were up for anything. Yeah. And really nice and really like let you do whatever you wanted.
And they let us, like, we kept going back, like, let's do another one. Let's do another one. Let's do more. Do you want to do more? And they were always up for it. Even so much I had to pay you to stay late.
That's true.
Because then after it was all done, we went into the rocket garden and photographed at night. I was like,
that was partially because of the weather, though.
It was,
right? Because we couldn't go.
We did have to go
beforehand.
It wasn't a rain backup, but we went under the rain cover. I don't think we were supposed to get married in that. I thought we were supposed to get married out in the rocket garden.
Oh, not in the tent.
Yeah, I could be wrong.
Well, even still, we didn't get to.
We couldn't go there because of the rain, regardless.
Yeah, before the ceremony was raining, so we had to do first look and family stuff all inside. We couldn't go anywhere else.
Which, I mean, I know I didn't show those photos, but the first look was so good in front of the space shuttle. Like, yeah, it worked out perfectly.
Yeah, we talk a lot about like unique days. You know, like. For a wedding couple, like, this is your unique day, like, let us capture it for you. Don't worry about it looking like someone else's pictures. But like, this was one where for us it was a unique day because
and I won't have photos like this probably ever again. So
yeah, I was talking to someone their daughter's getting married, and they were trying to decide what kind of venues, and like she said that they were kind of quirky, and I was like, well, I actually have an episode on my podcast all about venues.
Can we talk about
and
this?
I was like, we have a few quirky ones to recommend. Because we said
Did it work?
In the Science Center. I haven't heard anything.
Did it get us monetized by her?
No, not yet. I'm not even sure she ever looked at it. But I emailed it to her.
Are we still losing money on this?
I mean, I think we just have the initial loss from when we bought our lights, and that's it. We're good. We haven't spent any more money.
Still getting there, baby.
We
We're down
very
$68.
obviously aren't paying for followers or anything, so.
We can do that? No, what's your favorite photo?
Okay. So my favorite photo.
Of the moment.
Of the moment, for right now.
For future, it'll always be of the moment.
Yes.
If you made the list, you're always our favorite photo. And if you're not on the list, you're still our favorite photos. We just only have 28 minutes to do this.
When we take 2,000 images per event.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this photo was actually one of my freelance jobs. And it was one of those photos or one of those weddings where, we're at a barn venue. So it was like kind of one of the typical spaces, but this is the barn venue I go to least frequently.
All
so
right.
I don't always get to go to this spot. But this is a really sweet couple. They both were in Teach for America. That's how they met one another. And I used to be a teacher, so we kind of like bonded a little on that. But I did reference this specific wedding. It was a very memorable day. But I have referenced this wedding in previous episodes. This is the groom
cutback
that fell off that swing. Which I...
Sorry, bud.
He like sat on it and then instantly slipped off the back. And then his feet were up in the air and he was holding on.
Swings make me so nervous.
Which is why I had him sit and not the bride sit.
We've all had traumatic swing experiences. Why do we keep doing this to ourselves?
Why do venues keep putting them there?
I don't know. Let's put this $10,000 white dress over a mud pit.
Yes.
Because that's where everyone steps, so it's always muddy and the grass has been soiled, ripped off.
But yeah, anyways, I have talked about this one before, but he was fine. He was not injured. He was not dirty. Everything was fine. It was just, we all got a little startled. Yeah. But yeah, this was just one of those moments where it was a perfect combination of everything, right? Like well, first off, the light looks beautiful coming through the tree.
So good.
We talk about like shooting available light versus off-camera light, and this was one of those moments. It was all available light. Like not far from here was the patio where the ceremony was, so some of that light bouncing back was coming off of like gray stones instead of grass. They still look
lit, and
yes.
You don't have those shadows of you're trying to expose for the background, and they're dark.
Right, you don't have the green cast coming back from the grass because we weren't far from that like patio space. And plus, even though the sky is blown out, like the way the tree falls over that white space in the background, it's perfect. It doesn't feel that way. And then they were like, I don't want to say like nervous about PDA, but I think just, they'd never had pictures taken like that before. And so like they would get a little giggly when I like had them kiss or whatever for pictures. And we had people like loitering around during Newlyweds. So this was the first spot that was like slightly away. And I had told everyone like, oh, you guys go party. Like you're done, tried to really encourage everyone to leave us alone.
Leave us alone.
Yeah. So I think that helped too. That was like, this is the first moment where I could get them in a pose and give them directions. And
sorry,
that's my gig, not yours. Get them into a pose without an audience. And then plus I was on my 70 to 200. So I was even farther away to let them relax a little bit more. But I just love it. It's just this little fairy tale moment. The way the wind even like caught the edge of her veil and like pulled it from her body a little bit.
I'm listening.
You're ruining
my
segment.
It wasn't that good anyway.
Rude. So yeah, I just love it.
The way the branch comes across, it frames them, but it like ends at the sun. Mm-hmm. And then it almost looks like these are like perfectly dangling, but they also stop perfectly above their head.
So it doesn't interfere with them. Yeah. I did several variations. Like I had some where she used her other hand so that she was more open to the camera, and
Yeah,
I had her look off over her shoulder. But I just feel like this one, it's not what happened, but it looks like he was sitting there and she just walked right up to him and he took her hand and pulled her to him, because the motion you get in the veil. So it looks like a real moment.
Absolutely. Because I'm the same way. Usually I don't have the arm cross the bride or the groom into the camera, because then you're getting this, or I guess the camera, so it'd be this. But in this moment, the way because I assume she's gripping
she's holding on to the
but the way she's
edge.
turned just perfectly, it totally works. And again, she's not straight; it's a little bend,
right?
So it doesn't cut her off.
And I don't know, just his
look at her leg right here. See this drop down? It looks like she's stepping. You're right. Her right leg is back because she just stepped right into it.
I would like to take credit for that, but it was really just a consequence of a series of directions
Of course.
I gave her.
But you put her in that position to succeed. You wouldn't get that shot without you, no offense.
True.
Yeah.
True. But it doesn't always result.
It does for me.
I was watching a video the other day, and it was of another photographer, and they were talking about how
You cheating on me? Another photographer?
that they photograph real life people and not models.
Yeah.
Right? And so we can get people to to be very close, and it can still be absolutely beautiful and it looks like them, but there are just magical moments where everything comes together phenomenally.
That's why you got to be their biggest cheerleader when they nail it, which is one of our photography secrets. We should do a podcast on that.
We should do an episode on that. Maybe two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when they nail it and you tell them, you should be their biggest cheerleader and just freak out, oh my gosh,
Yes.
you guys are nailing it.
Yes. Which I did. And even him too, a lot of times, I mean, he did already fall off, so he
Fair.
probably wasn't thinking about it, but sometimes even getting guys sitting somewhere, they're like, well, how do I put my feet? How do I put my hands? And they just get so stiff thinking about it. And he's just so relaxed.
Or he just man spreads,
Yeah.
just hanging brain.
Yeah.
When you're dude.
But he just got so relaxed into it and was just focused on, I was giving him instructions about holding her hand, kissing her hand. And that's all he was just focused on her. And I feel his body language kind of says that too. So, yep. That's my favorite for now.
Until next week.
Yeah. I had a wedding expo and I used this as one of my, I got this printed as one of my sample images because I love it.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Well done.
Yeah.
You should shoot weddings on occasion. You're pretty good at it.
I mean, it's all right.
How long was that? 12 minutes?
I don't know. We have been talking for 17 minutes and 33 seconds.
Look at us. People love our voices. Which one's your favorite? Vote in the comments now.
Ooh.
They're going to like yours.
I don't know. Yours is at Kennedy Space Center.
Yeah. Mine's a better story. Yours is a better photo.
I don't know.
Plus, I did 2 photos, which is cheating.
I know, but that ring shot.
Vote for me. We could do that in our Instagram comment. Let's do it.
Ooh.
Which one do you like better?
All right. Be ready. Be checking our Instagram.
The winner doesn't have to do the podcast next week.
Hey, would you like to tell the people what our Instagram is?
I don't know what it is. The one with 2 photographers on Instagram.com, www.instagram.com/the one with 2 photographers.
And where else can people find us?
www.facebook.com.
Yes.
http://tiktok.org. It's the one with 2 photographers on all social
On
medias.
everything. Except Blue Sky. We haven't gone there yet.
We should do that.
We should.
All right.
But.
Check us out. Follow us.
And if you're just listening to this on a podcast app, we do have our video podcast on Spotify and on YouTube. So if you want to watch along, you can do that too.
Yeah.
So.
Because you cannot see any of these photos on the podcast.
We will be posting these photos on Instagram.
I just found that out.
So that you can follow along. I should have said that at the beginning of the episode.
Well, 20 minutes in, now we're here. So
we will share the images.
we're very good at this.
Editing Dawn will have to insert.
I edit all these. So. Well,
Okay.
What did you shoot this week that's not your favorite? And we
Okay.
want to have your favorite
I mean,
photos. Not yet.
They're not my favorites.
We are working photographers.
We are. So I did lots of headshots this week. I had a headshot for a dancer. So she's using these to submit for a competition. Like in the dance competitions, there's like a photo competition, I guess. So we did that, and then very different type of headshots, because that one we were like gelling the background and like totally different types of poses, even though it was still just like a traditional headshot.
Yeah. Then
a few days later, I was at a law firm.
And it was much different.
Very different. Very, very different. And then I had a bat mitzvah. And the bat mitzvah was crazy. I wish you could have been on this one, but you weren't. You were not available.
I know.
The decor, it was like floor to ceiling everywhere. So the DJ was up on a stage, and then in front of behind the DJ was a huge curtain, a huge like hot pink curtain that covered that entire section of the wall, like 20 feet wide, maybe 40 feet wide. It was gigantic.
You're good at math.
Then the DJ on the stage, and then they had a balloon arch kind of thing that was so tall it blocked the DJ on the stage. Like you couldn't see his head, you could only see his hand if he raised his hand. But like this huge like pink and white balloons, and then in front of that was like the dance boxes that the DJs bring, and on top of the dance boxes were the letters, like, you know, those light up letter signs to spell her name. That was just one wall. It was crazy, and they had so many stations.
I'm not seeing photos of this. Why have you not shown me?
I just delivered them.
Okay.
I just delivered them. But they had a station where the girls could make their own charm bracelets or necklaces. They would like pick what style they wanted and then pick out all their charms, and then they would put it together for them. They had a Sephora but Hora makeup station. So they each got like a monogrammed makeup bag, and they got to go pick out stuff. Sephora is the makeup company, like where you can. And then Hora, because it was a bat mitzvah.
Oh, I thought you were saying something else. I was like, that is not nice. These are 13-year-old girls.
Yeah, it was.
Hora, the chick from Star Trek?
Anyways, it was wild.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Sounds like an ultimate party.
Oh, wow. I'm not high-fiving.
That was a good one. What are we talking about?
Okay, what did you shoot this week?
Dude, it's convention season. We are deep in conventions. I shot, what did I shoot? 9 conventions or 3? I don't know. I will say one, though, like, because only in Orlando can you shoot a convention party where they go see fireworks at night. So then you do, like, you know, group shots of them watching fireworks. That's kind of fun. Mm-hmm. But the other ones were just convention and everything that goes with it. Mm-hmm.
So, like,
people looking at speakers, breakout sessions, trying to get some candids of people shaking hands and meeting.
On their little snack breaks.
Yeah. A couple, if they're willing to get together. The problem I have with convention photography sometimes is that, like, if you're not there for the company or they don't know you, it's really awkward because they're like, who is this guy? Why is he here?
Yes.
Especially, it's one thing when it's like an awards dinner. That's usually easier. They get it.
Well, and the other thing I find is, like, people don't always come to those sessions wanting to be photographed.
Correct.
Like, they're coming in their leggings and t-shirt and notebook, and they, you know, they're focused on learning.
Some are trying to stay awake.
Yes. You know, some maybe enjoyed the theme park a little too much the night before. But what, like you're saying, for the galas or the award dinners, like, now they're photo ready. Those are a little easier. But if you're just in, like, breakout sessions, you're not...
It's always,
like, could you imagine if we went to WPPI and, like,
and
people wanted, like, random photographers were trying to get pictures of us?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know. I get it. I understand where they're coming from.
But the check cleared, so I'm going to take the photos, so.
Right. Okay, so we already got to talk about our favorite photos for now.
Pizza.
No.
No.
So now, no. How could you have multiple favorite wings?
Trucks.
Trucks.
Yeah, so 0 trucks. Lego set.
Okay, that's fair, but we're not talking about that. We're going to talk about our favorite...
gross lady books that you read.
U.S.-based... theme park attractions.
Constitution law. Ooh, theme park attractions.
Oh my God.
I like it.
If you were here for last episode, you know how tired Jacob was, and he was not...
I'm fully awake now, baby.
fully awake. Totally opposite end of the spectrum.
All right. So top 3 U.S. theme park attractions.
Yes.
It can be any park. Disney,
Any
Universal,
park.
SeaWorld.
Whatever you
Wet
want.
and Wild.
What is Wet n Wild still open?
There's got to be a Wet and Wild somewhere.
I did enjoy Wet n
Hershey
Wild.
Park.
I mean,
Dollywood.
sure, if they have something that you love that much.
Oaks Park Amusement Park in Portland, Oregon.
Start with your honorable mention, or I will, or we will end this podcast right now.
Good. I got to go home. All right.
What did I don't remember.
You don't even remember?
I had to like narrow it down for my honorable mention, and I don't remember what I committed to.
You are dingus. Have we done this before? I feel like we've done this before.
If we've already talked about this, can you please tell us which episode?
Because we couldn't find it. I like theme parks.
I never wrote anything down.
Did we do top 3 theme parks?
I remember talking about Pirates of the Caribbean, but I don't remember why.
Why are you talking so high? All right. Honorable mention. Honorable mention is going to be Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. It is, I've said this before, maybe not on the podcast, but Big Thunder is my favorite roller coaster of all time. I know it's not the best, the fastest. Like, I get more thrills out of it. But overall, if you had to pick one roller coaster, I would ride Big Thunder Mountain Railroad for the rest of my life. I think it's a perfect bit of theming, thrills, fun. I think it's the perfect roller coaster. So I'll say honorable mention, Big Thunder, specifically Disneyland's. Now, ours is going through a year-long rehab, and if it gets, they're retracking it. If they get retracked and put all the cool stuff at Disneyland's, ours might end up being better. But as of right now, Disneyland's, ever since they refurbed theirs, is number 1 Big Thunder. Spoiler alert, this is America only, so don't shut your mouth about other stuff.
I know, I didn't.
Shut your mouth.
I mean, I know what my favorite would be if we were including international parks.
Little comment. All right. Honorable mention.
Okay, so I know I'm going to say the name wrong, but the one at SeaWorld where you like go this way. The roller is it Manta?
Shamu's Escape.
No, I always mix up if it's Manta or Mako.
Manta. Manta's the lay down.
The one where you lay down.
Mako is
that one.
is a normal like just sit in a roller
Okay,
coaster.
so then Manta. You lay down.
Attraction of everything.
Yeah, it's fun.
Manta.
I get to pick.
The unthemed roller coaster in SeaWorld.
It's fun. Rude. Why are you being so rude?
Cool.
Yeah. I don't want to be friends with you anymore.
Nah, you're lying. Manta.
Yes.
Okay.
My sister and I, we went to Discovery Cove.
That's
And
not
then,
SeaWorld.
because we were at Discovery Cove, you get to go into SeaWorld with part of your ticket.
Yep.
We went, we rode that together, and we loved it. The end.
The end. There's a cool aquarium when you go through the queue, though. Like, you go through the aquariums on each side. But Manta. Okay.
Why are you being so mean?
Number 3. Number 3 for me is, again, Disneyland's. You're going to see a theme here. Pirates of the Caribbean. In terms of just like theme park attraction, not ours. Ours, and by ours, we live in Orlando. Disney World's is... but for the Americas, Disneyland's Pirates of the Caribbean is the best attraction. It is perfect. It's long. The drops. Everything about it. Right there. It's almost as good as Manta.
Shut up. I hate you so much.
I think they're almost themed the same.
I hate you so much. Okay. Anyways, my number 3 is
Sesame Street.
Flight of Passage at Animal Kingdom. Which I've heard it needs to be refurbed because it's getting tired. Like the screens are not doing so hot anymore. But I haven't been on it recently.
Let's
go.
I don't know. Let's go tomorrow.
But yeah, it felt so like new and innovative when it came out. I'm not a huge Avatar person, but it made me like care about it a little bit more than I did.
I've never
which
seen
was
the
none.
movies. I refuse to see the movies at this
I
point.
saw the first movie once.
It's become like a point of pride where I'm not going to see the movie now.
Yeah. I saw it once like many, many years after it came out.
I wasn't blown away by it, but I enjoy it.
I just think like it was so immersive. Like the way the seat that you're sitting on like breathed to make you feel like you're really on.
Until you look left and right and see the sides of the screen and...
Continue. What's your number 2? Since
now, you know
all
what
of mine are going to be wrong.
No, I like Flight of Passage. No, Manta is wrong. I'll allow Flight of Passage. I'm just saying I don't see it. Like, I mean, think of Pirates of the Caribbean or Flight of Passage.
I know, but I enjoy a thrill ride. Pirates is not particularly thrilling.
But it's immersive. And you said Flight of Passage is immersive. And Pirates of the Caribbean is much more
I can like things for different reasons. Number 2.
Number 2 is a Universal attraction. Mm-hmm. It is here in Florida, in Islands of Adventure. Can you guess it?
Is it Hagrid's or Velocicoaster?
No, I already said you my favorite roller coaster.
Oh.
So it can't be a roller coaster.
Oh. Oh, Spider-Man?
Spider-Man. That is an incredible ride from everything about it. By mixing screens and the physical props, and it still slaps to this day, and it still holds up. And you know why it's not good is you go ride Transformers in the other park, and it's not good because it's all screens.
That's true.
But Spider-Man they have the fire. They have, like, when he jumps on the ladder and the ladder goes.
That comes out at you.
There's so much physical props in there that, like, the blending of it is so good. When you rise, the first time, remember you get launched up, and they have those buildings that move down to make it feel like you're rising up. It's done. There's so many clever gags in that thing. It is truly theme park art. And it's thrilling.
It is.
Spider-Man.
I do like Spider-Man.
I don't think it's going to last much longer because I think they're going to get rid of
that whole land is going to go bye-bye.
And that'll make me sad. But Spider-Man is a fantastic.
It is good. We do ride it pretty much every time. Every time we go.
And has great capacity, so the line is never super long. It is a perfect theme park attraction.
The queue is pretty fun to go through, too.
Almost perfect. There's one perfect one. We'll get there.
Your number 1 is perfect.
Yeah. So I'm excited to hear about Casey Jr.'s roller coaster here.
Well, my number 2
Goofy's Barnstormer
is also at Universal, at Islands of Adventure, and it's Velocicoaster.
Okay.
So
you like thrills over themed environments is what I'm getting at.
I like unique thrills.
Okay. And I like themed immersion.
Like with Manta, it was the laying down. With Flight of Passage, it was like the seat breathing. With Velocicoaster, it's that double, what's the word I'm thinking of?
Launch?
Launch, thank you. It's the second launch that, like, I've never had that on a ride before, or at least not on any of the ones I've been on.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. What I like about Velocicoaster is there's no, even though the launches are break zones, there's no actual break zones. You never get a break on Velocicoaster. It does not quit.
Yeah, it just, like, sneaks up on you that you're launching a second time. Spoiler alert. And also, I didn't realize, I mean, I had watched people on the ride, but I'd never really paid attention that you were going upside down over the water.
Yeah.
And I could have sworn to you my hair was in the water.
That final roll is wild.
It really is.
It's probably my favorite roller coaster in Universal, for sure. I love roller coasters, but again, I'll take a themed Big Thunder over, even though Velocicoaster is themed, it's not.
No, not
like
really.
It is,
the
but
queue
it's not,
is, but not the ride.
Yeah, when it's just steel girders up there.
Yeah, they could just slap.
But
a
like
different
Hagrid's,
queue
I feel
on that and be
themed,
totally different
because it's hidden. I like when the track is hidden. Big Thunder it makes sense because it's a train, right? Space Mountain is hidden. I like that kind of roller coaster more than just steel supports. Will like I ride it? Hell yeah.
Yeah,
love it, but it doesn't like. I do like Velocicoaster though.
You know, I probably should say too. I didn't think of this until now, but these are all also like special rides to me because I don't get to ride them very frequently. Like I don't get to do thrill rides super frequently because Ryan doesn't do roller coasters. So everything else feels more like not mundane, but like we do them every single time we go to the park. Whereas like it's only special occasions that I get to do some of the other ones. So.
What a story.
You're a real pain in the ass today.
Maybe.
You are not my favorite.
That's not true. Number 1 for me, and everyone that knows me knows what this is. It's a Disneyland attraction. It literally turned 30 this week, 30 years old, which makes me feel an old as shit because I went there on opening weekend or opening year that it came out. What is it?
Is it Jungle Cruise?
No.
I don't know.
Jungle Cruise, first off, it opened with a park. So Jungle Cruise is 70 years old.
I don't know. So
It's next to Jungle Cruise, though.
I don't know theme park trivia.
It's next to Jungle Cruise. It's in Adventureland. It's the Indiana Jones Adventure in Disneyland, which is the greatest theme park attraction ever created. And I will fight anyone that says differently. Maybe because I was 15 years old, or no, I was like 13 when it opened, but it blew my mind. First off, the queue is a mile long because in Disneyland they don't have any space.
Right.
So they had to build the ride in the old parking lot. So they had to make a huge queue that wound through this temple that they created. So you're going in between Pirates of the Caribbean and Jungle Cruise in a little 2-lane, just enough for like people to go this way and people to come this way. But to do that, it makes you feel like you're going. Like, you don't even know where you are anymore. Have you ever been on it?
I'm trying to think.
And if you say it's just like Dinosaur, I will punch you in the mouth. Because, they're the same ride system, but...
I can't remember if we did when we went to Disneyland. I've only been to Disneyland once.
Then why did you even go? You've wasted your entire life. Now you're not my favorite.
Okay, well, we're even.
So anyway, the queue is a mile long, and it's completely themed, like you're going to this temple. Huge backstory about Indiana Jones getting lost in this temple, but it's open to tourists because if you see the idol, when you see her, or if you don't look into her eyes, she gives you one of 3 treasures. It's treasure. It's like, ultimate treasure, it's future knowledge, and eternal life. And in the old Indiana Jones, when it first opened, they had these 3 doors, and they would move. So it looked like you were going into a different spot every time, but it was it was still one track, but the walls moved. Now it has broken over time, and it's probably too expensive to fix. So what they did is they did the 3D projection. So you just go through the same door, but they 3D projected the different stuff on it.
Yeah.
But then, of course, you go in and you cannot look in her eyes because you go over a hill. So it's purposely designed. So you look at it, and that's when S goes wrong. You go off course, and it's just a wild thrill ride through an incredibly themed environment with animatronics and pyro, and the finale, the rolling ball finale, is amazing. And the technology behind it is wild. Absolutely wild.
I know we watched a bunch of videos about it.
Yeah. And I don't know if they did in the old days, or they still do it now, but in the old days, even each ride they programmed, like if you ride Dinosaur, which is the exact same track. And same ride system. Dinosaur, all the vehicles do the exact same thing. When Indy opened, they actually programmed each ride vehicle differently, so you could ride it, and the rides, like, it was almost like the vehicle had their own personality. Like, when you go across the main bridge, some would, like, race across it and then die on the bridge. Some would, like, timidly, like, creep up to the bridge and kind of like, So it was almost like someone new was driving it each time. I don't know if that's still, my guess is probably hasn't held, but it still feels like that.
Speaking of bridges,
Madison County?
do you remember when the safari, the Kilimanjaro safari, when you used to like go over that little bridge and it would like shake back and forth like you were falling off?
Absolutely.
I missed that.
I'm old enough to remember when they killed the animal's mom, Little Red and Big Red, and then you would see the little, and then the poachers like would chase you, remember, and that car would slide around, and then they had guys with guns, like...
I forgot about all of that.
With Little Red and the little animatronic Little Red in there.
I forgot all of that.
Yeah, that was crazy. Wow. They would speed up, and the guys, and you hear gunshots, like they were shooting at you, and then they'd have cast members with AK-47s, like, protecting the baby one. They're like, we got the poachers! It's like, did you kill them?
But then after all that, then they still did just the rickety bridge part, right?
No, that was at the end. The whole...
But
the
was there
rickety
a time
bridge
where they
was at
got rid of the poacher storyline, but you still did the bridge thing?
I think the rickety bridge is still there. It's just a matter of, can they fix it, or do they just scrap it?
Oh, no, it's not. They never do it.
Oh, then it must be like they probably turned it off. No, but we definitely did the rickety bridge even when they got rid of poachers. Okay. It's either broken beyond repair, or they don't want to fix it, and they
I think someone complained at some point.
Probably because the rickety bridge was before the elephants.
Yeah.
It was right before you go into the elephant section. Yeah, but I remember that.
I forgot that whole other storyline, though.
I guess I never saw it, but in the original Kilimanjaro Safari, like during previews, they actually had a dead elephant mother carcass.
Damn.
And they were like, that's probably too much.
Maybe too far.
Yeah. So now then they turned it to like, oh no, they shot. But then I think when we went on it, it was like, oh, but she's okay. They tried to get her, but she's going to survive. And we got Little Red right here. And you're like, this is Wild.
Man,
Yeah.
I forgot all about it.
That's good stuff right there.
Okay, my number 1 is Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure. I know you're disappointed in me. However, it does fall in line with my logic because that ride... Oh, I forgot the other one I wanted to talk about. Dang it.
Well,
Anyways.
say it before we
Guardians
get
of the
Hagrid's.
Galaxy. They both...
Which one? Disneyland's or ours?
I've never been on Disneyland.
Okay.
So here in Orlando. But both of those rides, they just move differently than a traditional roller coaster, and it's just so thrilling. Like with Hagrid's, it actually feels like you're on a motorcycle. Like it accelerates the same way a motorcycle does rather than how a roller coaster does. And then with Guardians, because each car is moving independently, you're being flung around.
But with Guardians, it's being moved you don't move independently like wildly, which is what helps.
No, right.
Because then you would get real sick.
But you don't have the cue of where the car in front of you is to tell your body what to expect.
But that is why people get really sick on that ride. Because some people need that that focal point.
Yeah, my friend David, he'll have certain times that he can't handle it. But
I rode it, like I can ride any roller coaster. I rode Guardians 3 times in a row because when it opened during previews though. But remember, they were allowing us one time. Mm-hmm. But my friend's wife was on the opening team. She was a coordinator. She took me through the back door, so I didn't even go through the queue again. I literally went off and back on. And by the third one, I said, "We're gonna take a little break."
Okay, so I meant to add that in.
So Hagrid's.
But
Hagrid's. So can we get rid of Manta then?
Sure.
Great. Get out of here. Garbage.
But it's just the motion is non-traditional. And
motion in the
makes
ocean.
The ride so much fun.
There are a lot of good elements. I like it. Mm-hmm. I don't understand why it's still a 3-hour wait every day.
I know.
6 years after it opened.
I know.
It opened in 2019.
That's
before COVID,
wild.
Pre-COVID. And I don't know why it's still that. I mean, it's a great ride, but it's not like... I don't know.
And it's not like there aren't a lot of other rides in that park, too.
And it's not overly thrilling. Like, it's a good family coaster, too, because it doesn't do a bunch of banana stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, the backwards isn't bad. There's a little drop, some stuff, but it's not like, ugh.
Yeah. I just like the acceleration. Like, it feels like you're really on a motorcycle.
The other thing I don't understand is why at the finale, the part you see the most, they put the worst unicorn animatronic I've ever seen. Like, that's the one you see the most.
Like when you're just riding
You're flying by Hagrid. Yes. You're flying by Fluffy, right? And you're like, oh, well, cool. And you're gone. But then you stop there and you're slowly going around this unicorn animatronic. It's just like... You're like, this looks horrible. Why?
I never thought about it.
This is what I think about. This is why I should be an Imagineer.
This is why you have a more discerning list of favorites.
A palette, if you will. I have a very discerning palette.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that's over.
Yeah. You need to go ride Indiana Jones right now. Go.
Okay, well, I'll just fly out there.
Do it.
No problem.
I just turned 30, like, this week.
I need to ask Ryan. I want to say it was under refurb or something.
It does go under refurb a lot.
Or, no, we did try. Nope, I take it back. We tried 3 times. And all 3 times, it was broken down. I was trying to remember which Indiana Jones ride, like, in which...
There's
like
the Paris one, which is just a roller coaster. Yeah.
It's a death trap.
Tokyo Disney Sea has their own Indiana Jones. Same system, same track, different story.
Yes. But the one in Disneyland, that's what everyone was telling me I needed to ride, but we tried 3 different times, and all 3 times it was down.
It does break down a lot.
So I tried.
It was one of the first trackless rides they ever did too, and it loses its. It still uses hydraulic fluid, and it leaks sometimes, so it'll slip off, and then the ride goes, "Oh shit!"
Whoopsie.
Yeah.
Whoopsie.
That's it.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.